Good morning, everybody. It is 9:53 in the AM. I am seeing that my Yeti microphone is working just fine. I found a workaround to my solution for Xbox. After trying to find, I went on Nextdoor to find a local Xbox. I went on Facebook to find a local Xbox. I went on to multiple marketplaces to identify Xboxes and the original Xbox. Because of last week, for people who are just coming new to this, my classic, I love that my Ring doorbell's going off right as I do this. My original Xbox, one of them could not display AV. The AV out was corrupted, and so it was showing flashy visuals. It just was not getting a good signal between the original Xbox AV out and my Elgato. So then I got my other Xbox, dusted that one off. Again, not dusted off. I just pulled it out of dry storage. And that one loaded up just fine. The AV out was perfect. The problem was that the DVD drive, the bands on it, were so corroded that they wouldn't spin the drive up anymore. So I had the option of either had one Xbox that wouldn't play discs, the other one that wouldn't show visuals. So what I did need is I needed a disc. I only had ESPN 2K5 on disc. So the challenge was, how do I get that to play out? So I did a call for, hey, anybody here in the local area have an original Xbox that I could borrow for a charity stream that was happening? And then a series of streams that we're doing, and nothing. Well, I found this out, and this is how I used to do it in the old. I completely forgot that this was a possibility. So with Sony closing down their stores for the PSP, Vita, and PS3, there's been a lot of activity about how do I say this, downloading, and then Jim Sterling did a video on it, like why you should back up your own games, why you should protect your investment. If you've already purchased the games and Sony's going to close down the store, why don't you just make a backup of them and store them? And if you don't have time to make a backup, well, just make a list of all the games that you did own, and you know what the heck, find the games your own way. Pirate the games is what I was saying. So in those forums, as I was reading those stories and watching those videos, I realized, like, oh my goodness, I can absolutely do the same with my Xbox. Someone's texting me. Oh, somebody's watching. I love whomever's watching. Thank you very much. So what I found was on my modded Xbox, I have a tool called, I have Evolution X and Xbox Commander. And these allow me to access what's on the drive, on the backup. So what I did was, on the Xbox that had the drive that did work, but the AV that didn't, I was able to log in and let's see if I can get in here. Settings, there we go. Just ignore all this. Wow, that is very tiny on the screen. I was able to access this. Now this is all going to go away. Look at that. Do you see how it's flashing? Oh my gosh, it's already doing the glitch. So you can see it. It's glitching out here. You ready? It's like Poltergeist. It's going to do it. Maybe if I move it. There it goes. It's glitching out. So you'll see that if you make any activity, any motion on the screen generally causes it. And if you play an Xbox game, it's going to do that. So what I found is that I was able to access the drive from its IP. So I'm going to shut this back down. I was able to dump the game to the hard disk. And again, I'm doing that because I have no other option. I cannot find an original Xbox. I own the game 5 times. I own the consoles 3 times. All of it's failing. So I am working on a way to get this so I can use the games that I have and play the games that I have. And if the consoles still are able to power up, I'm going to find ways to modify them. And this is why everybody's having problems with Apple. If they're making it where you can't modify or repair your own systems, the right to repair is a very important deal, because I wouldn't be able to play the games that I've had for years, that I've maintained for years. I mean, I keep these things in very, very clean dry environments. These were upstairs in a wooden box that were, what is it called? The silica gel. Like when we get silica gel, we put them in around things that we want to keep dry, like, clothing or whatever, that in storage. So I maintain these things pretty well. Yeah, I mean, I'm not putting them in like Lucasfilms put stuff in salt mines. I'm not doing that stuff, but I maintain them well enough. And if I'm doing this, heck, if there's somebody that has an Xbox, an original Xbox that they've kept in their garage, next to their car coming in and out during seasonality where it gets dry and wet and then very hot and, dry, hot and dry, cold and wet, moist. Anyways, you don't need to hear me dialogue. I'm just explaining why it's very important that you're able to modify these things. So I'm going to turn this bad boy off. I'm going to see if I can add my video capture device. Let's see if I can get window capture. I'm going to see if I can capture my window here. Yep, add source, window capture. Okay. You know what? I'm going to open up an app and I will share that window. How about that? I'm going to open up this is really cool because it actually has something to do with gaming. I'm going to open up a window called Transmit. So let's go window capture. And we're going to open Transmit. Now, where are you, buddy? Where's my Transmit? Come on, buddy. I know you're in there. I just opened you up. Transmit. Again, I apologize. Probably should have had this open beforehand, but I'm doing this live as we're talking through the Streamlabs. No system uses touch portal. No menu bar. What the heck? Oh, sorry. Cancel. I have to recreate. Sorry. I know what I have to do. I have to recreate that. Okay. Close window capture. Open new window capture. Window capture. Add source. Add source. Transmit should show up right here. Fantastical. Nope. Keynote. Nope. System UI. Transmit. Here we go. Done. Whoa, that is enormous. All right. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to move this over here. Actually, I'm going to hacksaws into the system. Put that there. Whatever. Put that there. And then use the other one behind. All right. So you get the idea. I probably shouldn't have all that in there. How about that? Perfect. That's what editing's all about. All right. And then I'm going to take this device and move it over here. All right. So you can see what I'm doing. Whoop. Great. This isn't... why am I trying to be a perfectionist? This is stupid. All right. That's it. I'm not touching it anymore. All right. So here's what I was able to do when I logged into Evolution X. Now this is what... The last time I updated this thing has got to be 16 years ago? Not even sure. Hang on a sec. What is it? 2001? Oh, it has to be after that. Well, let's just say 15 years ago. So settings. So there we go. I have actually plugged my original Xbox using this third-party software, thanks to Team JBX for the software, the X Commander. Or sorry, this is Evolution X. Thank you, Team JBX, for Evolution X. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Transmit. And I'm going to... Oh, sorry. Did I just throw that off there? I did. I'm going to enter the 10.0.0.75. And so this is an Xbox. So if I use username and password, it's not going to let me do it. So I'm just going to do Xbox. And I don't even know if I need this one. I'm just going to put Xbox in there. And it should work. Yes, it does. So I have full access to all of the stuff on there. So this is everything that's on that disk. Homebrew, games, emulators. So if I dumped ESPN NFL 2K5, dude, there we go. Oh my God. Now this is weird that it says January 13, 2021, because I just dumped it. This one says January 27th, 2021. What the heck are the dates on these things? January 7th, 2021? Oh, the internal clock might be getting reset when I'm not sure exactly why that is. Anyways, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this ESPN 2K5 and I'm going to drop it into, let's just put this into, I don't want to put it on, shoot. I'm just going to put it, fudge, downloads, we'll put it in there, whatever, ESPN 2K5. So games, back up to games, and I'm just going to say, download. So, how long is this going to take? That's not possible. Oh, okay, good. Oh, I was going to say, this has got to be a couple gigs worth. So, it's going to spend whatever time it needs to dump that. Now, I will be back later on in the day, once this is done doing its work. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to take this folder that's in my games folder and dump it onto the Xbox where the DVD drive does not work, and then try to access the game there. If I can, then I'll be able to do ESPN NFL 2K5 streams from an Xbox, from a game that I actually own, and I'm just making a backup of it. So again, I have all of these items. I own every one of them in multiple states. As I said, I own ESPN 2K5 on PlayStation 2 and Xbox, and I actually have probably 3 copies on Xbox. So, oh, here, hang on a second. Ooh, get it. This one was purchased, let's put it this way, let's say. This one was used for $1.99. So, guess what? The discs in that one, there we go. But then, this is the one I actually dumped. It's another one. So, bottom line is, like, I've owned these titles a ton of times. I just can't get the Xboxes to work. So if there is an actual reason for archiving games, this is it. And really, years ago when I asked, I had written to Apple back in the days when Steve Jobs was still alive. And this was when, gosh almighty, Chris Charlo was still at Backbone. So I tried to start a dialogue with Apple to start bringing older games to their, or just basically start creating a library of older games. And all it was an archive of older titles that they could actually start to figure out a way to work with companies to emulate, because there's a lot of these companies that don't exist anymore. And how do you get them to, how do you preserve these games? And Apple had no interest in any of the things. I'd written them a couple times and sent them a package on how it would work. And, you know, Steve just never got back to me. I did send probably too many nude photos with my packet, but I just wanted to show that I was legit and that I was real and a real person that needed love. So at 12 minutes, by the way, the only reason I did that last bit because I needed to extend this to 13 minutes because I needed to do that for YouTube's reasons. Anyways, everybody who watched this, which looks like 0, awesome. Now I have a record of this being copied. Let's see. It's dumping. I'll be back later on today to let you know how it went. It's still going. We've got 312 megabytes transferring. Again, I'll also keep tabs on how long it took to upload, but